talk my shit. I got all dick, and she turned around and hit. And I done learned a lot of shit. I had her burn up her brain. I deserve her face. I deserve her. I deserve her. I'm like, how we do your motherfucking speaker? I can't do the Gita. I don't rock the Gita.
What's up, guys? This is your boy, Mr. I240. I'm back with another episode today. Okay, rewind. What's up, guys? This is your boy, Mr. I240. I'm back with another episode today. Man, I missed you guys, man. A lot been going on. Shit, I'm stressed out. Work crazy. I got other stuff going on. But y'all ain't here for that. But I'm doing all right. But hey, I really missed y'all. And most important, you know how we doing this channel. I gotta thank the man above, Lord Jesus Christ. If it wasn't for him, it wouldn't be no me, it wouldn't be no y'all, it wouldn't be no channel. You know what I'm saying? I know I've been slacking on the promos and stuff like that, but I just felt in my heart and the spirit to film this episode. You know what I'm saying? Another one of my favorite episodes I wanted to film. You know what I'm saying? Record or whatever. Even added a little few subjects to the episode, so this might be long as hell recorded. This might not come out to probably, depending on how long I gotta edit and stuff like that. Y'all know how I do. Probably don't come out the next Tuesday, next Wednesday. I don't know, but that had nothing to do with that. But hey, I really missed y'all. I love y'all, man. If you new to the page, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button. You feel what I'm saying? So let's get straight into it. The first subject is gonna be light work. You know what I'm saying? I just added this and it had to be the first subject because it's finally caught my eye. I mean, I heard about the subject, like I said, it came out 2-3 years ago prior, but I just found that on my Instagram, and somebody, I forgot, was Sports Keistra or somebody, kid had posted it. And the first subject is Tommy Dreamer actually wanted to kill Paul Heyman. You know, for a few days I thought about it, and I was like, damn, why would he want to do that? It's kind of shocking. But then I thought about it, you know, especially from hearing from the New Jacks, the Sabus, the Robin Dams, the Ball Mahoneys and stuff like that. You know, Paul Heyman wasn't kind of truthful with those guys, especially for his money and stuff like that. Checks was bouncing. He was known to be a manipulator and a liar. So why did it shock me that Tommy Dreamer wanted to kill him? Well, I got a few reasons, guys. I just, like I mentioned, he wanted to kill him at WrestleMania 17 on national TV and off himself. And according to the reports, Tommy Dreamer was depressed after the closing of ECW in 2000. So I can imagine that's a lot leading to it, and you feel like the main man that you want to kill has something to do with it. You know what I'm saying? And the plus, they said I think he said Paul Heyman lied to him about something, because I think Tommy Dreamer could have signed to WCW for a big deal, but he stayed loyal to Paul Heyman while Heyman lied to him in his face about something. Then, according to the report, it was believed that he was supposed to make his debut in the TLC match at WrestleMania 17, but they lied to him about it. And for his creative wise, at the time, they had nothing for him. And at the time, during that time, Jim Ross had prevented him from doing it. He was like, look, just be patient. We got something for you. Don't do it. So really, Jim Ross saved Tommy Dreamer from doing what he had to do. But the only reason it shocked me, because I would have never thought that a guy like Tommy Dreamer would be depressed and be going through stuff like this. So that's why I say, man, in life, you can't be playing with folks, you know what I'm saying? Folks be having a lot going on, you know what I'm saying? You never know what somebody going through, and you playing with their emotions, their time and stuff like that. That ain't cool, you know what I'm saying? You know, because we got to remember, man, karma is you know what I'm saying? And plus, he always watching, you know what I'm saying? So you can't be playing with folks' emotion like that, man. You know what I'm saying? And I hate that that man went through that. And you know what I'm saying? Because he was his guy. He was a Paul Heyman guy. He was one of the first. And for Paul Heyman to stab that man in the back like that, man, that ain't cool, bruh. That ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Because he stayed loyal to you when Raven left. Raven left and came back. Taz left and came back. RVD just left. He never looked back. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sabu left and came back. You feel what I'm saying? Like, these guys that left, like him and New Jack was the main ones loyal. And you do my mans like that? No, that ain't it. Trash. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard. I'll be like, man, I don't know how Brock Lesnar. I guess he knew not to try that with Brock Lesnar. And I guess he know not to try that with Roman Reigns. Because you remember, the controversy brought back with AJ Styles and the OC. He lied to him that they weren't going to release Gallows and Anderson, and they shortly after that did release him. To the point AJ didn't even want to be on Raw with that man no more. He wanted to go to SmackDown during the COVID change. So I'm glad Tommy Dreamer didn't do that, and I'm glad he will here with us to live another day, and he'll mentor the OG to the guys on Impact. You know what I'm saying? He just did his thing with Bullet Ray, but I think he one of their road agents or something like that. He sometimes wrestle still get down, and we still got the legend here. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tommy Dreamer. All right. Another subject I want to talk about. Hell in a Cell. The original one. And the reason I want to talk about this because for the past couple of days and couple of weeks, I was watching reaction videos of the second Hell in a Cell with Mankind versus Undertaker. And it just had me kind of thinking about the original Hell in a Cell and the build-up and what led to it. You know, I got it in my notes, so yes, I still take notes, whatever. You dig what I'm saying? But we're going to get into the subject. So we all remember that this rivalry started at SummerSlam in 1997 after HBK had cost The Undertaker the championship. Because if you remember, HBK and Bret Hart was arguing. Bret Hart spit in his face. Shawn Michaels grabbed a chair. Bret duck, wham, drop Taker. HBK with the fake count, he didn't want to do it. And reluctantly, Bret won the championship, and Bret went on to the next pay-per-view to face the Patriot in a decent match. I guess the match was decent, but the rivalry was kind of, whatever. So, during that time, same pay-per-view, which led to Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, Undertaker had teamed up with a rival, which had beef with Triple H. Undertaker and Mankind had teamed up against Triple H and Undertaker on Raw. Where I think it was their Raw where they both attacked the Undertaker, put him in the body bag. He rose up at the body bag, started bleeding, and he went on the chase. And Shawn Michaels jumped on the little Titantron thing to run from the Undertaker. Then, of course, they had the great match at Ground Zero, which was a physical match back and forth, but it ended in a no contest because the Undertaker just wanted to beat the hell out of the man. And that was also when Stone Cold had to relinquish the tag team belts with Dude Love, and he stunned Jim Ross. You gotta do your research, you hear me? Come on now. Then, on top of that, so during that time, in the meanwhile, in the rivalry, Shawn Michaels had just became Grand Slam champion when he beat the British Bulldog for the European title at One Night Stand. Then, shortly after that, a new match was invented. Hell in a Cell. There was something new, something fresh. Instead of just a regular cage match, let's decide we're going to put a roof on it. Then during the match, all of a sudden the match happened. Both guys going back and forth. They wrestled for 50 minutes. And according to Shawn Michaels, I just saw a video. He said, we freestyled that match. We didn't know what to do. I didn't even know they wrestled that long. That match was so good. You would probably think, how the hell, you wouldn't even know that they wrestled for so long. I mean, they was inside the cage, outside the cage. Y'all remember the classic power driver when Shawn Michaels power drived Undertaker on the steps. Then on top of that, Undertaker hitting him with the steel chair, cocked back, wham, dropped his ass. Then, of course, Shawn Michaels bleeding, trying to run, get away. He's running from him. Get on top of the cage, beating him up. They going back and forth. Except Shawn Michaels fell on the tip of the cage, holding on. Undertaker stomping his hand like a mosquito. Shawn Michaels fell. You hear the table pop. Then, after that, Undertaker taking his precious time, getting back to the ring. Undertaker finna get the dub. Wrong. No hiding rank. But his brother, a character who was brought to you, who they was already starting on in the midsummer when when Paul Bearer and Undertaker kind of got back together, and Undertaker reluctantly wanted him to be his manager because Undertaker didn't want him to tell the world that he killed his brother Kane and his parents. So, because you remember, I think weeks or stuff like that, he said Paul Bearer told Undertaker, I talked to Kane. He on the way. And boy, did Kane make an impact. That's all I'm going to give y'all, because I got an episode talking about debuts and making impact, so that's all I'm going to give y'all. But that match was so special, historic, and that set the tone for all Hell in a Cells. And I'm gonna be real with you, this for his top 2 Hell in a Cell matches ever, between that and Mankind vs. Kane. I mean, Jericho vs. Triple H was good, but the rest of them, you know, the Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and all that, you know, Brock Lesnar Undertaker was cool, you know what I'm saying? It was great. Triple H Undertaker was a classic, but ain't none gonna top the first one or the second one. So shout out to the and Hell in a Cell is one of the pivot matches of all time. It was so good, they made a trash ass pay-per-view called Hell in a Cell. Hope they get rid of that pay-per-view now, because they just really trash, you know what I'm saying? But them guys made the impact, they made a legacy, and plus the rivalry really didn't end to 1998 at the Royal Rumble in the casket match. You remember that match with, you know what I'm saying? Everybody thought Kane and Undertaker was together. Oh, one love, bruh. Undertaker doing what he do, whooping Shawn Michaels' ass. Even Shawn Michaels broke his back in the match. Undertaker finna get the dub. Wrong. Kane again. Choke slam in the casket, burnt my man's, and my man was off for the month and a half. But they did a good job with that rivalry, and shout out to the OGs, and they lived on to have many more matches, and we'll probably talk about those on future episodes. You dig? Third subject, I can freestyle this one. The Elite versus Blackpool Combat Club. This rivalry has been on fire. This might be one of the greatest faction versus faction rivalries. You gotta think about all the storylines, especially from the Elite over 2 years. It was times where Adam Page and the Young Bucks was on the same page. It was times where Kenny Omega, and you gotta remember, Kenny Omega and Adam Page had fought the Young Bucks over the Tag Team Championship. We did not ever see this day that the Elite was gonna reunite and be back together. But when you got Dean Ambrose, John Moxley, Willa Yuta, Cesaro, Cardio, whatever, Bryan Danielson, stabbing folks in the eye, injuring the Young Bucks. Then, of course, you had the great cage match recently with historic rivals, John Moxley versus Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega finna get the dub. His right man hand betrayed him, nailing him in the face. You know what I'm saying? You would have thought he was going to be on his side forever. You know what I'm saying? But no, he betrayed them. So I think he might join that shit. The name, y'all know what I'm talking about. He might join them. I can see them betraying on them in the pay-per-view match. I think it's a no empty arena and Arctic rules. I can see him betraying on him and joining the Blackpool Combat Club. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't think that heel turn that the Daniel Bryan and them way was going to work. But they're even more stronger, more dangerous, and this rivalry has been one of the, especially a lot of storylines on the Elite part. And of course, you got Bryan Danielson, and him and Adam Page had beef. You know what I'm saying? Shit, even Daniel Bryan took a shot at WWE. Hell, we the best wrestlers that didn't wrestle this past weekend. Damn. Even my boy said he better than Bret Hart. Whew. Pew, pew. My boy with the smoke. This the Bryan Danielson we ain't seen since the Planet Champion. But hey, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a great, entertaining match. I think I'm off that day, so I will be finally watching the AEW pay-per-view. Thing is, look, I like AEW. The 3-hour shows, one love. But them pay-per-views be too long, look, bruh. God damn, I got to go to work. You feel me? Lucky I don't. I'll be off on Memorial Day. But the point that I'm making, them pay-per-views be too long, look, bruh. That ain't it. Man, make it 3 hours, and we'll be cool. You know what I'm saying? But y'all be having, man, like a goddamn Coachella concert. Come on, little bruh. But officially, it's gonna be a good show. And plus, I want to see the four original four. I got an episode talking about the original, originals of the companies or whatever. But I'm looking forward to that match, and it's gonna be great, entertainment, and hopefully I'm hoping the Elite win. But I think my main man gonna turn on them officially and join John Moxley and the crew. And you would have thought without William Regal it wasn't gonna work, but they became better and dangerous despite of him leaving the company. So you gotta think about that. You feel me? It just show you how much Tony Khan trusts all them guys creatively to come together and make a great feud. I mean, he stabbed my man with a screwdriver in his eye, and my boy made his return with the group with the Bob Riot broom, and they came together like brothers. One love. All right. So, My next subject I want to talk about. My main man. Now this is not Vince. This ain't Vince. My main man has been overlooked as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And who I'm talking about? Whew, this guy, Quote the Raven, Nevermore. I mean, think about this. When you think about greatest wrestlers ever, you got your Rocks, you got your Brocks, you got your Takers, you got your HBKs, your Angles, and so what, and so what, and so what. And the Ravens never in the top 50, top 15, never in the conversation. My boy is one of the greatest to do it. Think about this. Not only was my boy a great wrestler, but he was the manager. He managed Adam Bomb in the Quebecers. Then, of course, he left WWE in 1994. Then shortly after that, he arrived at ECW and developed his character, Raven. And his career took off ever since. His promos was like depressed, cutthroat, coming from a depressing place, and how you see the world kind of different. And then on top of that, he came up with the famous quote the Raven, Nevermore. Then you had to think about it. During his time in ECW, he had one of the high, like everybody talking about that Austin Rocks, and you got your Sting Hogans. You had Tommy Dreamer and Raven as the greatest rivalry in ECW history. Then of course my main man's feuded with Sandman and Terry Funk, where him and Mick Foley teamed up against Terry Funk and I think Tommy Dreamer. And he feuded with the Pit Bulls, and he feuded with Dr. Death Steve Williams. He became a 2-time ECW champion. He became a 4-time ECW tag team champion. Then shortly after that, he left ECW in 96 and ended up joining WCW in 97, where he formed this group called The Flock. Now, his WCW run was kind of a decent run. The biggest highlight that I had remember was he became U.S. champion. Then he had big feuds against Chris Benoit, DDP, and he had a big triple threat match at Uncensored with DDP and Chris Benoit when DDP botched that diamond cutter through the table. Then, of course, he had a match with Goldberg, where Goldberg beat him in a minute and 20 seconds, where he tried to run through the crowd, but the fan really threw him back in the ring. Then he had a feud with Chris Jericho at Halloween Havoc in 1998. Then, of course, his bandmate became his op. Him and Perry Saturn had a decent rivalry. But here's the kicker, though. How many title shots y'all think Raven got at the World Heavyweight Championship? None. Why? Because he was never in the main event picture. He was always in the mid-card. He even feuded with my boy Kane, and they became a team. Then, shortly after that, he returned to ECW. He helped his rival Tommy Dreamer win the ECW Tag Team Championships. Then after, I guess, the ECW had closed, he joined WWE in his second run, late September, where he attacked Jerry the King Lawler when Jerry the King Lawler was feuding with Taz. And then, of course, he became a multi-time hardcore champion. He was involved in one of the greatest triple threat hardcore championship matches ever at WrestleMania 17 with Stone Cold and The Big Show. I mean, not Stone Cold. I'm sorry, Kane in The Big Show. My bad. And of course, he went to Ring of Honor for a minute. The only highlight I remember that he had a rival with CM Punk. Then of course, hold up, what that paper is. Then of course, he went to TNA for a minute, and he became King of the Mountain. He became TNA champion, of course. He had entertaining feuds with Abyss, AJ Styles, Rhino, Jeff Hardy, and Jeff Jarrett. Now, these days, Raven's a Hall of Fame legend across the world who go around signing autographs or something. He was just inducted to a TNA Impact Hall of Fame 2 years ago, where, of course, Signature Raven, he gave his man that inducted him into the Hall of Fame, he gave him the even, whatever the DDT special move called. He gave him that in typical Raven fashion. We love Raven. I just had to give my boy his flowers. Alright. Okay. Then, the next subject, Mr. Curt Hennig, WCW run. I don't know if it was decent or trash. I'll let y'all be the judge in the comments after I name my stats, you hear me? So, of course, in the late 80s and 1990s, he was one of the best professional wrestlers in the world. Where he feuded with Blue Blazer, of course, on Hart, the Big Boss Man, Shawn Michaels, Roddy Piper, Bret Hart, and he out wrestled Hulk Hogan every time in they promote in they matches. And remember, he had the famous promo where he destroyed the championship with the hammer. Then during his WWE run, he was a 2-time Intercontinental champion. But before he left in 1996, he was an announcer / manager, where I think he managed Triple H at one point. Then shortly after that, he went to WCW, where the booking was mediocre. He had a decent match with he had a debut match, my bad, against Wall Street. Then of course, him and Raven had the infamous episode where he debuted with the suit, where it looked like they were gonna confront the NWO. Then of course, he teamed up with DDP. He teamed up with DDP against Scott Hall and Randy Savage at Bash at the Beach. Then shortly after that, of course, he joined NWO Wolfpack. He joined NWO, and then in 98 he joined NWO Wolfpack during his run. He had good matches, but not that memorable storylines. Of course, he had the matches and feuds against Chris Jericho, that squash match with Goldberg, disrespectful. He wrestled Bulldog, Dean Malenko, Big Show, Ric Flair, and of course Bret Hart. Then the run was so bad, he became tag team champion with Barry Windham them, but they had a rival with Master P. You mean to tell me this man was so cold and so great, you chose to book him in a rivalry with Master P at the time? And Master P was on that wild, ignorant stuff. All that. And out of all the people, I think they were dissing rap, they were doing that country thing. It was him, Barry Windham, and somebody else, I forgot who it was. They had a little group, and they were dissing hip-hop. And you mean to tell me that was the best Mr. Perfect can get? Then, of course, shortly after that, he left WCW, especially after his best friend died. I think a year or two prior to that, my boy Rick Rude, the legend. But my boy, and how many WCW title shots Mr. Perfect got? The same thing I asked Raven. 0. It was all about Hogan and Sting, man. Like, damn, bruh. Dang, the Hogan buzz was dead. That ain't it. Trash, no. And Sting is just, he was Sting. You can't diss Sting, you know what I'm saying? That's the homebody. But damn, could my boy get a big match with Sting or Raven or something? You know what I'm saying? Like, my boy, like I said, my boy had great matches against these guys. But, like, can y'all name a great WCW Kurt Hennig match? Okay, I will give him one WCW moment. And it was a match on Nitro, and I ain't write his name. It was a match on Nitro. It was before Sting versus Hogan at Starrcade. I watched the highlight every day. I will give him this. He lifted up Big Show and put him in the perfect place. Of course, Big Show kicked out. You know what I'm saying? You know what happened. Sting do what he do. After that, but other than that, that run was just not that memorable compared to his WWE run. You know what I'm saying? He had classic match with Bret Hart, the King of the Ring. The classic match at SummerSlam. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. He had a match with Lex Luger at WrestleMania 10, not 10, WrestleMania 9. You dig? I mean, he had a great rivalry with Hulk Hogan, which he out-wrestled Hulk Hogan every time. I'm going to continue to say that. If you look at Hulk Hogan versus Mr. Perfect, he out-wrestled his ass. And according to the rumors, Hulk Hogan didn't want to do the job. But compared to his WWE run and to the WCW run, his WWE run was better. I'm sorry, bruh. It is what it is. So, shout out to my boy, Mr. Perfect, man. We miss you. We love you. We know you're a real OG. We were sad when you passed, but I got to give him his flowers on this one. You know what I'm saying? He deserves better. You know what I'm saying? Vince booked him well. He went to WCW. They ain't know what to do with him. You dig? Alright. Then, of course, my boy, The Miz. I just put The Miz Hall of Fame down. You know what I'm saying? And then I ain't got nothing to Hall of Fame, y'all. It's just, I feel like my boy Miz been booked poorly over the past year. I seen a lot of people in the company forget how good. I seen a lot of people behind. I feel like a lot of people in the company forget how good The Miz is, and I feel like the fans forget how good The Miz is. I wasn't even a Miz fan from the beginning. I mean, my boy went from the real world, made his way up. I could be all down to Miz, but we talking about the current now. You gotta think about it. My boy lost to Logan Paul in SummerSlam. He was in a trash feud with Dexter Lumis. He lost to Snoop Dogg. Hell, he lost to Bad Bunny. You dig what I'm saying? And then, I mean, look at you. Now you would think, like, why would they treat a guy like this? Look at my boy stats. My boy, 8-time Intercontinental Champion, 2-time WWE Champion, 2-time United States Champion, 4-time. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You had multiple tag team titles with Big Show, Damian Sandow, John Morrison, and Shane McMahon. And then my boy, very entertaining and passionate. He still can give you a good promo, like promos with Daniel Bryan on Talking Smack, and of course the great promo with Roman Reigns and John Cena. Then my boy main evented against John Cena at WrestleMania. Okay, he won the match thanks to The Rock. But my boy wrestled with a concussion. Did you see that spirit John Cena did in the Miz landing on his head? Damn, that hurt. And then, like, I feel like he's still one of the best wrestlers on the planet. He can still give you a great match. Like, come on, bro. Y'all remember that 2016 with him and Dolph Ziggler at No Mercy when Dolph Ziggler's career was on the line? Come on, man. Then y'all remember he beat him and Dean Ambrose had great Intercontinental title feud. You dig what I'm saying? Come on, man. Like, my boy deserves better respect than this, man. I need another Miz run. I think he still got it in him. I don't know if his heart ain't focused into wrestling, but Triple H is booking my boy Pearly like straight trash. That ain't it. No. Like, come on, man. Like, I could be all day on this. Then you had, of course, him and Daniel Bryan finally settled the beef at SummerSlam, where Miz got the dub. Even though they ain't like each other, they still put on a great show for the professional of the business. So you treat a guy like that, like, man, he lost to Snoop Dogg. Come on, man. Dexter Lumis. Lost to Logan Paul. He had some going with Tommaso till Tommaso got hurt. I just feel like, man, they in a creative funk with the Miz and they don't know what to do with him. So my boy probably enjoying all his vacation days and his off days. So, you gotta think about that. Shout out to the Miz, though. I'm sure this episode might not be that long after all. Man, alright. Yeah, another OG. Vader WWE run was aight. It wasn't good, it wasn't great, but I feel like, I don't know if they shitted on him or Vader was being unprofessional. Because you gotta think about it. By the time 1995, 1996 come, my boy was already an established superstar in the wrestling business. I mean, this is a guy that was facing Ric Flair, Sting, Lex Luger, Sid Vicious, you see what I'm saying? Cactus Jack, Ron Simmons. And then it just seemed like it just didn't cross over to the WWE fans. I mean, he had a feud with Ahmed Johnson at King of the Ring. I think it was King of the Ring, I'm not sure. Had the good No Way Out match with Kane, but they was just put Kane over. He had cracks at The Undertaker. He had that stiff match against Ken Shamrock, where Shamrock was trying to stiff the hell out of him, and Vega gave Ken Shamrock that work. Then, of course, he had the controversial Shawn Michaels match when Shawn Michaels just disrespected him, calling him stupid. Then he fought Yokozuna, and of course, he had a fight with Sid Vicious, where they had the whack trash match. Powerbomb first. Straight trash. No, that ain't it. Now, during his time in the WWE, he had got arrested in Kuwait and roughing a reporter up for calling wrestling fake. Now, y'all remember the OG David Schultz did it from back in the day in 1984 when he said that. I guess don't say wrestling fake, you hear me? Because folks put their body on the line. Now, during this run, he probably had like 2 cracks at the title. A couple of cracks. And all the cracks I remember was Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. And he lost both of them, both times. And then shortly by 98, 99, we stopped caring. Then Vader just moved on from wrestling. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't that memorable, you know what I mean? For, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if Vince didn't believe in him. Or during that time in 95, 96, Shawn Michaels helped him back. Or Sid was over. It's just something with that Vader run. Now, I do give Vader his props. He beat Undertaker in the Royal Rumble clean. Clean, 1, 2, 3. Peace out. But after that 1997 year, Vader was never back in the title picture. I'm sorry, bruh. I mean, he had a sloppy rivalry with Goldust when Goldust won the Lion Thong, and just weird, bro. It was just, at that time, they didn't know what to do with Vader, and Vader was getting older, and they were just trying to move on, and, you know, that WWE run just wasn't that good. It was impressive. It was just like, all right, you Vader time throwing it up the V, and you know what I'm saying? Your WCW career was way more impressive than that. I mean, come on, man, you beat Sting. Like I said, you beat Sting, Lex Luger, man. You know what I'm saying? Ron Simmons facing Cactus Jack. I don't know if you faced Rick Rude. I mean, come on, man. Like, now my boy deserves better than that. You feel me? So, I don't know. Oh. But, alright. Another subject. Oh, snap. Shit, I ain't gonna front. I wouldn't mind seeing Chavo and Ray again. Especially after Chavo. Well, I'm talking about Chavo and Ray Mysterio, my bad. Especially after Chavo had made the controversial comments about, you know, Ray living off his family and stuff like that. And you thought it was real, but Chavo told you, I still got the juice and I know how to get heat. So, I wouldn't mind them seeing it running back, especially they had a classic rivalry in 2006 and 2007 from SummerSlam 2006, No Mercy, and then the famous I Quit match on SmackDown where Ray was on the court again and Chavo hit about 30 times till Ray cried. So, I wouldn't mind them seeing it back again, you know what I'm saying? Of course, there's a lot of history, you know, a lot of brotherhood, a lot of love. Both of them got love for Eddie. And, you know, the Mysterios and, you know, the girl go way back like this. No mob ties, my bad. No mob ties, but they tight just like this. You know what I'm saying? So, you gotta think about it like that. But that was light work. But my next subject is my own Mythian. The man, the myth, the legend that came from Jerry the King Lawler. My man, Brian Christopher, a.k.a. Brian Lawler, who did this. When he embarrassed his daddy on TV. But for real though, my boy Brian Lawler was a legend in the industry. I mean, he was the son of Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler. And then, on top of that, Jerry the King Lawler was making airwaves and through the business in the mid-'80s. From Andy Kaufman, Randy Savage, the Moondogs, goddammit, Austin Idol. You know what I'm saying? My boy was making an impact. And his son wanted to jump into the family business and make his own impact. And so, he joined the business and he made his own impact. So, he did. In Memphis Wrestling, where he was very charismatic, he was a great wrestler, the fans love him, and then he was taking over the industry in Memphis Wrestling and making headways. He was making headways through the Mid-South and making headways through Memphis Wrestling. My boy also became Memphis World Champion one time and TV Champion one time. He feuded with Jeff Jarrett, the Moondogs, Doug Gilbert. And around like 96, 97, he got called up to the WWE and they had the little tournament for the light heavyweight title. And when him and Taka Michinoku made it to the finals and competed, newly signed Taka Michinoku, they made it to the finals of the light heavyweight championship at DX first pay-per-view in 1997. And during his early WWE run the first time, he competed against Chris Candido, Flash Flanagan, Scott Taylor, his partner Scotty 2 Hotty, Gangrel, and Christian when they fought over the light heavyweight championship. But by 98, 99, it kind of died, but by the time he reinvented himself and became too cool with him and Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty. So my boy, and it took off and never looked. You know, they had their own dance routine. And even my boys won the tag team championship. I see, I can't get into all this. But, I got episode talking about underrated. I think, I'm not sure they're on underrated tag team, but I got episode talking about them. But my boy was legendary. And he had credentials. He made his own impact. He did his WWE impressive run more impressive than his daddy. I mean, yes, Jerry King Lawler was a great announcer. But his son had accomplishments more than his daddy. I ain't saying he's better than his daddy. I'm talking about WWE run. Brian Lawler run was better than Jerry the King. I'm sorry, bruh. One love. But, hey, shout out to my boy Brian Lawler. We miss you. The OG had passed away in jail over a few years ago. His daddy was trying to get him out. But I think some gangster shit went down and, you know what I'm saying? So, you know how they go. And, of course, my last subject, I don't think Vince McMahon never believed in the British Bulldog as a solo star. You gotta think about it. Here my boy is. David Boy Smith was part of one of the greatest tag teams, the British Bulldogs. They even feuded with the Hart Foundation, and plus they was on the WrestleMania 3 card. They was on the WrestleMania 3 card, which had Harley Race versus JYD, Hogan versus Andre, Savage versus Steamboat. And, and during that run, too, they had a feud with the Dream Team, which was Greg Valentine and Brutus Beefcake, Iron Sheik, and Nikolai Volkov. And then, of course, shortly after that, him and Dynamite Kid feud against each other, too. And then shortly after that, my boy became a solo star in 1992, and he got his big break against Bret Hart at SummerSlam in London, England in 1992, where he won the Intercontinental Championship. But 2 to 3 months later, Vince took the belt away and gave it to Shawn Michaels. And Shawn Michaels' career went back like this, and Visual Dog was still on a steel hoe. But I got to give him a shine on this one. 94, 95, for some reason, my boy was always in the mid card or kind of in the main event picture. You got to remember, because it was at one point he teamed up with Lex Luger. I think Luger betrayed on him, or he betrayed on Lex Luger. He fought Diesel, Bret Hart, and Shawn Michaels for the WWF title, but he never really won the belt. So I guess it was something, I don't know if it was my boy accent or something, but it's just something that didn't cross over for Vince can sell it, you know what I'm saying? So then, of course, I think he left WWE again in 98, because he left twice. He left in 92, 93, he went back over WWE back in 93, and then he came back to WWE, you know what I'm saying, about 96, 97. Now, he left twice. But during his last run, it was kind of cool. He had the little music, doom, 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 music fire, right? You thinking like, oh shit, my boy got jeans, boots on. If you get that big push, my boy's on them roars hard as hell, because that boy was too strong. Like he was on that Chris Benoit juice. I don't know. But his last run was kind of cool. He figured, he was involved in the Triple H Rock feud over the WWF title and trying to interject himself in it to win the belt. But he never got a shot, or he never really won the belt. No, he had a shot, but The Rock hit him with the 1, 2. It doesn't matter if The Rock counts the 3. And that was his last shot at the WWF title. But his last moment was when The Rock hit him with the spine buster in the goddamn dookie stain and went for the people's elbow. And then that was the last time we seen Bulldog. And it just seemed like my boy could never get over and get that shine or his just due, because he put in a lot of years and a lot of work for Vince. But it just something about the Bulldog that Vince didn't see him the face of the company or champion type. I don't know if it was the Attitude Era or he just didn't see something in him. You know what I'm saying? Because you had The Rock, Triple H, Undertakers, and Stone Colds, And it's hard to market a Bulldog between it, because I feel like, hell, Rikishi could have been champion. But that's another subject, here or there. But that's it for this episode. I love y'all. I'm out. Peace.
Just let me talk my shit.